I thought I would do a little end of year wrap up down here on my computer. Just thought I'd go over some of my favorite board games this year. I played a lot of stuff this year, and really there's no particular order. I'm trying to think. If I go back through my Google Photos, I can kind of look and get a sense of what I played the most, but it's kind of hard for me to pinpoint what my favorite games of the year were. I'd probably say I made a return to Kingdom Deathmonster, which was easily played a lot by myself and Crabby Old Gamer. Then we also we dove pretty deep in that. We played it several weeks straight, so it was good. I had a lot of fun playing that. It can get a little bit tedious with all the record keeping, but there are ways now that are a little bit better to track those sort of things. I started the year off getting the Bloodborne game like January 24th of 2021, but I never even attempted to learn it, and I waited like 2 years for that thing. So I haven't even cracked that one yet, which is weird. I also dove into some electric football and some strategy football board games and things like that to try to, get a coaching type thing for football, and they're all extremely difficult and really weird. So I would say that probably did not work out that good. And then we also attempted Star Wars Legion, another failed miniatures experiment by myself. I just can't. It's just too much effort to put everything together, get the terrain, and have the space, and it just, after a while, it just wears you out preparing to play those games. So there were a lot of miniature-based games that we were looking at that we never really dove into, which is kind of sad. Probably the next most game that we played was Marvel Champions, the card game. I played that a ton. We would get together and play that like every week also. We did a bunch of card combos and tried to beat the villains over and over again, and it was crazy, that game. And we're still going to end up playing that coming up again once I get the Thanos set. I reorganized my Lord of the Rings trading card games. We were going to try Crisis Protocol, but again, another miniatures game that we just fell flat on, did not work. And from there, it kind of got quiet for a while as we dove into a little bit of HeroClix, and then we came back around to the Marvel Champions game, and I organized all my clicks, and then we got the new version of HeroClix, and then we never played it, which is bad. So you can see kind of a trend here where, I don't know, the stuff that, the old stuff that used to be hyped for me kind of petered out. So, as you look on the screen here, you can see a menage of Google Photos where I attempted these things. The next one I did was I organized Mansions of Madness, which is the Fantasy Flight board game that uses an app. Organized it, but we never played it. Next, we played, the one we did play is Journeys in Middle-earth. So we played Journeys in Middle-earth 2 or 3 times. We got wiped out. It was good, though. I like the game. We're definitely going to go back to it once the Shadows of the Path to War or whatever comes out, that new expansion. And then we went into the Kingdom Deathmonster as we hit May, somewhere around in there. And I also split when I came back, I also decided to come back to this channel to do mostly war games, but I split my video game channel off like around June, and that's Easily Distracted Gamer over on YouTube. Not a lot of subscribers or hits or anything. And the way I play, I'll never be a huge video game YouTuber. I'm not too concerned, but that's the way it works. So Kingdom Deathmonster led to me wanting something more tactical. So I looked into Madara, which is basically like a Japanese role-playing game as a board game, JRPG. And Madara is very tactical. It's not an easy game to learn. We thought it would be, but it's not. And Madara kicked us off on like this 5 or 6 week, 7 week binge of just playing this game and getting through 2 or 3 dungeons. And then I had to start traveling for work. And that kind of, as usual, it always ruins everything. And then from Madara, I had to take a break from super complicated, miniature-based, Kickstarter-type board games. And so what did I do? Of course, I went back to wargaming. I traded in my Subaru Crosstrek, got a new car, like sometime in the end of June, and came back and said, you know what, I just want to go plain, flat, I just want to get back to like the basics, like flat hexagon games, and just get back into wargaming. So I rearranged my entire board game room, put all the miniature stuff away, all the terrain put away, and I went back and restarted this channel and dove into some SCS, Autumn for Barbarossa, and dove into OCS, and probably the next biggest video session thing that I made was trying to figure out the air combat games that I always was too afraid of. And so that would be like Red Storm and Downtown. And I didn't master them, but I learned them for once. I proved I could learn them. And then I started sliding back into Eastern Front stuff. After my Vietnam binge, I swung back into World War II Eastern Front. And that's pretty much where we are now, where I'm still doing OCS. In between there, I learned a little Battalion Combat series. Is it for me, that one? Maybe. Not 100% sure. But I'll go back to it. But right now I'm into OCS heavy. And I don't post a lot of videos because I don't want to bore everyone with just OCS stuff. So, yeah, I'm dabbling in it, and I'm still setting up little scenarios and playing tiny dinky scenarios and things like that. But it's just not enough to really put up as a video because those get boring, None of you guys want to see that stuff. So when something big and cool happens, I'll put it back up in another video. I think Zombicide 2 hits this Thursday. I get everything, and then we're going to play that, maybe a live session, and then a playthrough, and kind of show people how that works. And then GMT Games has said that Barbarossa Army Group Center finally will be charged this upcoming week, which means it's got to ship soon, right? So we'll be looking into that, and I'm still going to do OCS. And I'm trying to think what else I played. What are some other war games I dabbled in? I think that's about it. Just a lot of MMP stuff. Not so heavy in the GMT games this year. I found their titles kind of lacking, and I felt a lot more comfortable with MMP. In October, I scored a PlayStation 5, and I had to travel for 3 or 4 weeks to Detroit. So as the holidays have come around, you know what? I'm taking a break, and I'm relaxing. I'm kicking back and just playing video games. And my thoughts on those are over on my YouTube channel for that. And I'm just throwing up videos every now and then. Nothing great. Just video gaming and chilling out. So I've just been relaxing, easing my brain, and getting ready for the new year. And we should have some good titles coming out. That the Vietnam reprint from GMT Games is coming. They're charging for that quickly. I was amazed at that. And we've got Army Group Center. And, it's, some good video games are coming out, too. So let's not forget about that. We've got Elden Ring coming out, Dying Light 2. So I should be pretty busy. All right, so that's kind of like my yearly wrap-up. I'm not going to bore everyone with a bunch of blah, blah, blah. So that's what I played. I don't really have a specific order. So it was Kingdom Death Monster. Here's what I remember. Kingdom Death Monster, Marvel Champions, Madara, and a lot of OCS board games. Those are the things I remember that stuck out, me playing and relearning again this year. So that's pretty much what I did. I didn't spend the whole year doing war games. Remember, I came back in the middle of the year. So, but that's what I remember. So anyway, all right. I hope you all had a good Christmas and have a good New Year. And I'm back to work Monday, which sucks. It's amazing how fast a week off can go. It's really amazing. But all right, 2022 should bring some good stuff. As usual, thank you to everyone that has discovered my channel, subscribed, liked, left comments. I could always use more comments. That would be great. And as the semi-black sheep person of the wargaming YouTube community, I do appreciate any comments or dependable viewers that come back and watch my stuff. It does not go unnoticed, so I do like that. All right. That's about it. So you know what's coming up. Expect some Zombicide. And I did paint some Zombicide a couple years ago. And the first version of that game was extremely tedious to play. And I found the rules lacking and very, You could cheat a lot in that game, especially if you got in a car. But Zombicide 2 seems to have fixed that up, and after months of researching, I finally pulled the trigger with some Christmas money I got, and we should have that coming in. All right, so thanks, and talk to everyone next year. That joke never gets old.